What's up, Twin Cities? My name is Anthony Tunstall, and this is my guest, well, my partner, Sharon Brooks. Today, we're going to teach you how to interview people. People think it's a little easy, people think it's a little hard. Well, today we're going to show you the nuances about interviewing people. A couple of things you need to know from my point of view is, one, you should know the audience. You should know the subject that you're interviewing. So, example would be a celebrity. We'll pick a celebrity like Mike Epps. I always try to find something that's relevant to him. I try to stay away from bad publicity. Try to stay away from things that would make a person that you want to interview agitated. And then the second thing I do is I try to make them feel comfortable as much as possible. Why? Because you want them to feel like it's something easy. Even though they're talking to you, even though they're watching what they're doing and they're a little nervous, you want to make them feel as comfortable as possible because you'll get the best interview that way. And the third thing is just to have fun. Even if you mess up, just keep going because it'll show them that, you know what, we're human, we go through it, and, you know, it's no big deal. And you will get the best interview possible if you do that. So, the other things I like to talk about interviewing is just like I said, just recapping, learning how to get them comfortable, picking a subject matter that's comfortable with them, and just making sure that you have fun with it. So before Sharon talks about her way of interviewing, take a look at the clip that I did that explains some of the stuff that we talk about, and I'll recap when I get back. What's up, Twin Cities? It's your man, Anthony Tunstall, here with Mike Epps. You know who he is. You just see him in Hang On. You just see him in everything under the sun. Yeah. And you know what? You even see him in Boston when he was out there kicking and hanging out with you. Yeah. I do my research too. Yeah, you know, and then for the big, but I saw you doing your big thing out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, Mike, what's going on? I know you got a new movie coming out. What's going on with you? Tell us about the new movie.
Oh, definitely new movie coming out, Sparkle. You guys remember the remake of Sparkle. It's going to be a great hit, man. Shout out to the late, great Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Jordan Sparks is in the movie, Derek Luke. Right. So make sure y'all go check that out. This is a must-see family movie.
Now, your part. Yeah, I know you're going to take over your part. How was it working on the set with everybody, with the late, great Whitney Houston, and everybody else, you know, great, everybody? How was that atmosphere there?
Oh, it was cool, you know what I mean? And this movie here is going to be a little different than I think what people see me as. I'm usually a comedian, but you know, I had to challenge myself a little bit, so I'm playing a little serious role, but I'm still funny in it. And you'll definitely get a chance to see layers of different types of talent in this movie. Okay. With singing, we have actors, we have comedians, we got, shout out to TD Jakes, Potterhouse Productions.
You do a lot.
Who produced it, yeah. Okay. So, you know, it's always great, you know, when we have a black film that did do good, like, you know, Think Like a Man, stuff like that. It just kind of opens up the door for everybody.
Right. Well, I'm going to throw one at you. When you go executive produce, put one out there for us to see. You start direct / when you going to do that? I got my money right now.
Hey man, we need to get the director, man. We got money right now. No, you know, I'm just really patient, man. And, you know, I guess in God's time, you know, when he decided that's what it's time for me to do. Right now, I'm enjoying being an actor. I have produced and executive produced many of my films. You know, people don't really look at the credits, but I produced like executive produced All About the Benjamins and The Honeymooners and a lot of other films.
I guess the people don't understand executive. That means you put your own money up to make the film.
Something like that. Okay. You know, I had something to do with that.
You had to say something.
Yes, a lot of different actors.
So we'll wrap up real quick, Mike. I know you're a father. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about father. What's the best thing about being a father? I heard you talk about you don't have to go to prison, you know, to be abandoned there. But as a father, raising a daughter, raising a kid, what's the best thing about being a father?
You know, I think the best thing about being a father is, you know, you get a chance to see a mirror every day, a reflection of life and a reflection of who you are. you know, and it's sort of like redemption. You get the chance to, you know, a lot of men out here didn't get a chance to have a father or be raised a certain way. So being a father, sometimes it gives you an opportunity to, you know, find redemption in a relationship within yourself. You know what I mean? You get to heal yourself in a lot of situations through your kids. You know, watching them grow up, watching them become adults, watching them become teenagers is a beautiful thing, having kids and being a father. You know, and it's not easy.
Right.
It's definitely not easy. And shout out to all the fathers out there.
Father's Day coming up.
Mother's Day. You niggas ain't shit.
Hey, we're gonna let you go. This is Mike Absher in the Twin Cities doing this thing. Mike, tell you what's up. Yeah, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. So we back. See how that works? See how we was just laughing and joking and having a good time? So that's how easy it is for me as far as interviewing people. Now there's other ways to interview people, and I'm gonna let Sharon explain to you what that way is for her.
Okay, thanks, Anthony. Those were really good points that you brought up.
Yeah.
I'm Sharon Brooks, and I usually interview people for writing purposes. I'm a freelance journalist here in Minnesota, and most of the times when I'm interviewing people, I do my research. There's detrimental consequences behind not doing your research, not knowing facts, asking questions that may be off limits. You know, you kind of need to have that rapport you talked about, making them comfortable first. That's very important, I find out, when interviewing, even for journalistic purposes. When I'm doing it in front of a camera, definitely, definitely having a rapport with the person. So I'll give a kind of a preview here of interviewing. Can I use you for my subject?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Go do that.
All right, here we go.
All right.
All right, Anthony, nice to meet you. I know that you're directing a play called I'm a Deadbeat Who.
Yep.
It's been circulating around lately. I've heard a lot about it. And what I really want to know is, how did you pick your cast?
That's a good question. How did I pick my cast? I think I picked my cast because two reasons. One, I picked them because I knew some of them, and I was comfortable with them because of the performances they had throughout the city, and just the relationship that we had. Just, it was a little cohesion. So it was easier for me to talk to them about the play and approach them with the play, and they was a little bit more receptive to say, you know what, I like this. One, I know you, Anthony. Two, I like the idea you got. And three, you know what, why not?
So I think I know you and I like the play kind of went hand in hand.
Right.
Did you all notice that I was very attentive to his answers? When interviewing someone, it's not proper to look around or seem uninterested. You have to be interested in the person that you're interviewing and even the question that you ask. I believe that you should really want to know the answer. I really wanted to know, how did he get Rico Navoshan, Miss Neek, Trina Girl, you know, Trilla, just to name a few, those big name celebrities of Minnesota in your play, I'm a Deadbeat Who. I was curious about that. So when you're interviewing someone, try to make it something that you really want to know about yourself. And possibly the majority of the audience may want to know too. I hope you also notice body language. I turned my body towards Anthony, which made him open to talk to me about how he picked his cast. Had I done something different, how did you pick your cast? Maybe you might not want to tell me so. It's really important that we practice, you know, being open to the person who we're interviewing. Something else that you brought up that kind of went with the way that I like to interview, and that is the relaxing mode. How we have this setting here. It's quiet, it's comfortable, a little music in the background, you know, laughter you mentioned, and I noticed from your clip that that was part of the ambiance too.
Yeah.
I like to do that too. So with that said, I'd like to take a moment for you to see a person who I helped train. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Maureen. I love to bake, and maybe one day I'll have my own show. So, yeah. And also keep it going. It's a great.
Good. Hope you enjoyed that. So Anthony, back to you. Any more tips?
Yeah, well, the other thing too about interviewing too is that you have to, I always try to pick something that the person that I'm interviewing that no one else talks about. I try to find one little piece of information or picture or something. So when I interview them, they go, oh, how did you, I call it the aha moment, when you be able to interview somebody and then all of a sudden you say something to them and they go, man, I didn't know that. Like, example, I don't like to do this, but you know, I do this. Like RZA, you know, I interviewed RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan, and it was just a good thing. And I noticed that he's a director. He directed under Quentin Tarantino. So when I mentioned that to him and I talked to him about that, he was like, man, you know, I said, RZA, you know, what's going on? He said, I know about the music. I know you're on tour. You're hanging out at Wu-Tang, everything. But tell me about your director with Quentin Tarantino. And he said, you're the first person that mentioned that. Aha moment.
I bet that was shocking, even for him.
Right. He was like, well, who are you?
Right.
So now that drawed him into a little bit more comfortable with me to say, you know what, man, let me give you the scoop. Sit down, enjoy yourself. You know what, I'm going to talk to you for a little bit longer. Now, everybody else who was trying to do the interview, they kind of got,
general.
you know, they got, you know, basic questions or whatever. So what you try to do is try to find something that's different than anybody else. And you try to stay away from the same routine questions.
That brings to mind the time I was on KFAI with my organization, Piece of Hope.
Yep.
And I had Professor Matmuel Kati on my show. We had a 1-hour segment, and I was interviewing him. And the body language part didn't really apply on the radio. There were microphones up high, so we had to be in angle with them. And it occurred to me to ask him, where did he get so much wisdom and depth from? And I asked him, and he kind of chuckled a little. Like you mentioned, it was an aha moment for him to tell me that he was actually in college, degreed, in a totally another subject other than Black history. Right. And that falling into the realm of Black history, the deepness that he's into it, was just not on his mind. Right. So it was an aha moment, and I'm glad that I asked the question, because I didn't even know that. I didn't know that he was in school for something completely different. I thought that he had always studied, you know, Black history and the culture of Black America. Right. So yeah, I think that having the aha moment and the shock factor in a positive way works for a good interview.
And the other thing about having an interview is that when you do have an interview with somebody and someone sees you, they get to see what kind of person you are. So that opens up the door to say, hey, let's say somebody saw me interview whoever, and they say, well, you know what, Anthony's really good at this. You know, that could open up the door for some other things, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Maybe a job, maybe just somebody hired you and say, hey, come on our NWCT cable show, we want you to do your own program, and you can do interviews all day long. Exactly. Like Art Cunningham does here. So, you know, those things happen when you take the time to find out your subject and you know what you want to talk about. And always think about this. If it's important to you, that's great. Make it important for your guests. It's always about the guests feeling as comfortable as possible. And if you feel like they don't feel like they're comfortable, then you back up and you give them another chance to reset. Right. You know, because there was sometimes I had an interview with somebody and they was like, I didn't understand this question, I don't like this, and it was getting uneasy. So we just took a pause and say, what is it that you want to talk about? Then they said, you know what, I want to talk about my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? She was the greatest person in my life. Well, let's talk about that. And then we went from there, and then we got back on subject, and he started to open up, and we started talking about some more things. And you know, next thing you know, it was just a better interview. So I just think that's just the way to do it. And anybody else wants to interview, just be as comfortable as possible.
I know that there are many women in television and interviewing, and part of that interview process is the different ways of interviewing, like we're discussing. And another way to interview is not just to sit down TV talk show that we're used to, my favorite Oprah, and now Gayle King. But we can stand up, actually. You want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
And we'll try the handheld wireless mic with it. All right. I've seen many women do this. I've seen lots of sportscasters particularly do this. And it's usually one mic, and the guy is standing kind of how you're standing, which is fine. And they go back and forth. So I'll just practice on you again. How about that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So, Anthony Tunstall, director of I'm a Deadbeat Who. How do you pick your venues for your play?
Well, I try to pick the venues based on, you know, who's been there, who hasn't been there, more so economically. You know, can I afford this? Or can I afford this? Or can I get some sponsors to help me? But pretty much that's how I pick them.
And I'm sure the venues that you choose are very appreciative of you making their place your home for your next play.
Yeah, they are. It gives them a little bit more exposure. It brings a diverse crowd to their venue that they haven't seen before, and the people that come to view the play, they get to see the venue and say, hey, you know, maybe I've been here before, maybe I have a good moment, or you know what, this is somewhere I might have a venue here, to an event here. So it's a twofold thing.
Well, that's great. Thank you for demonstrating how a stand-up interview can go with me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's cool. I like that. That's how we do it there. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wrap up because it's not that much more that you can talk about interviewing. I mean, you can go in depth with it, but pretty much it's real simple. Be very comfortable with the people that you want to interview. Find something that is in common, or find some little nugget that you can have that's special, so when you talk to them, they feel like, wow, you took your time, you did what you were supposed to do, and I can't believe it that you got some information that no one else got.
Right.
And that would make you a better, that would make them remember you a little bit more. So next time they come to town or you call them up, it's no problem. Yes, you can interview them. Other than that, just
do your homework. Do your homework. If you have a chance, before interviewing, make sure you do some research about the topic, the person, what they're all about. Do your homework. Very, very crucial.
Well, like Sharon said, do your homework. We're just going to wrap up. That's all I got. If you want to interview somebody, you know, you can catch me out on in WCT. I got some interviews coming up. You can catch Sharon Brooks, her Piece of Hope, and her interviews. And that's been the show. So if you want to know how to interview somebody, you can do it.
You can do it.